right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just Our Luck podcast. Today, I am here with Nailah.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Very dry, very lackluster.
My first podcast, excuse me.
How do you feel?
I'm a little tired. About the podcast, I feel great.
I mean, how do you feel?
Well, I think you could tell by the bags under my eyes. It's been a long week.
Is it work, stress, work-induced bags?
Yeah, it's been a very long 6 to 7 months, however long I've been working.
I'm dead. Well, at least, what with the toxic positivity people say, like, so happy to be here in this moment,
Oh, do not get me wrong. I'm so grateful for the job in COVID time. So,
yes. And isn't that why we're all here? To figure out how that happened. Do you remember how it happened? No, you getting a job in COVID.
Oh, yeah, I do. It was a long process.
Well, so excited to get into it. The first thing I'm going to do is I usually like to have a good news corner regarding anything that's relevant, anything that's going on. So in the last episode, I talked about CNN brought up this article about how you can, with the pausing of student loan interest, how you can really maximize your money and, pay down your debt, blah, blah, blah. And really, I think we're just all out here waiting for Joe Biden to just forgive all student loans. However, that's not happening. According to Joseph, he doesn't think that. He thinks $50,000 of forgiveness is too much money. And I mean, he's still a proponent for the 10.
Okay.
So, free money is free money. But, I mean, what's wrong with 50? Also, money is fake,
Exactly. if they forgive that much for everyone,
then
everyone will be significantly more financially stable.
So it's not right. They want us to be in debt. They want us to struggle.
Precisely.
How rude. But yeah, so, not the most exciting news, not the most positive. But, it's also your own what's the word? Prerogative.
What? Oh,
yeah. It's your own prerogative if you even want to pay off your student loans. That's none of my business. That's between you and the government and Sally Mae.
I'm not going to say anything, but, mine are there in the bank.
I just feel like you don't need the money. You don't need the money back. I can be doing so many other fantastic, amazing, financially stable things than pay off something I already got my degree for.
That seems illegal.
It does seem illegal. I mean, I think that does very much affect your credit, so don't take this advice. I think
I really didn't know how much debt I was in, and then I checked my credit score the other day, and I said, where did this money come from? And I said,
interest, gotcha.
Yeah, but it was, how when you do financial, I don't know how it was in your school, but when you did financial aid, they would just automatically put government loans, and you'd be like, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I did that for every semester.
No, yeah. All of my student loans are with the government.
I thought you didn't have ones, yeah.
No, I do. I had financial aid, and then I did federal loans, and then my mother helped pay for the rest. So she also doesn't care about student loans either. Yeah, exactly. Let's all recognize our privilege. Although I
have government and private loans.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
And I mean, I do feel a little bit better about only having federal because the interest rates are low, but it's still money I technically owe.
Yeah, but also because of COVID times, I don't know if it worked the same for you, but allegedly they did not send me, payments to start paying yet.
Right.
Because of COVID, but I've been paying my private loans.
Okay.
Years.
Okay. Yeah.
Still have more to go.
No, yeah. That's definitely like something a financial advisor would recommend because, pay off loans with the highest interest loans, blah, blah, blah. So,
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know what that means.
Maybe we could use another financial literacy class. 1 or 2.
Maybe.
You know what? I highly recommend Susie Orman. She used to have this TV show on MSNBC, and people would call in and be like, hey, Susie, I want to buy a house. I want to buy this designer bag. And then she'd be like, you can't afford it, by looking at all of their finances. And it was great. In middle school,
okay.
Look up for
middle school.
Yes, I was in middle school watching this with my mother. And I was like, oh my gosh, they can't afford a house. Look at all the debt they have.
See, that scares me.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, that's one of the things I've been thinking about lately. It's like, how much money do you really need to live?
I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
I just would like to say thank you to, me being able to pay my bills and like the expenses and then be also able to save. But I can't, like me as a single person, I can't foresee myself like needing to spend more money.
But that also stresses me out. See, because you've moved out now. And
yes.
I'm like, well, how do you afford keeping up with your lifestyle? Because this girl shops at Whole Foods.
Actually, I shop at Trader Joe's. Thank you.
Okay. I shop at ShopRite.
That's it. Listen, it's practically the same prices, just not the same things. I think, honestly, it's just like, how much you're going to spend on rent. You have an estimate on how much you spend at Target and ShopRite every month. Pad it a little for just in cases. And then...
It's a lot of money.
It is. It is.
Stresses me out.
But, you just gotta... No, I would not recommend just jumping in. That's not a good idea at all. Ease your way in.
But how? What do you mean?
Save, and then go on cute little Zillow, Street Easy, Trulia. Be like, okay, $1,000 a month. Can I afford that? And you're probably like, yeah, I probably can. But
we live in Jersey.
This is true. It's very expensive
Things are
here.
No less than $1,500 on a good day.
50 for like a 1-bedroom.
Get a studio.
Oh no, honey, absolutely not, love. Who? I mean, what areas are you looking in?
Everywhere. I'm not even North Jersey, South Jersey, Central Jersey.
Jersey itself is expensive. People always say, like, if you can live in New Jersey, you can live in anywhere. And I'm like, I don't think that. I don't know. I always heard that. And I was like, have you seen the price of like a New York penthouse apartment? Like what?
Well, I'm not kidding you. The prices in New York and New Jersey are almost the same.
Exactly. So might as well live in the place I'll like hang out in more, be going around more. Like I'm not trying to be in no one's New Jersey suburbs anymore. No offense, but
you are.
I'm technically in an urban city. Yeah. I come to the suburbs to visit the parents.
This is true. There's not much going on here.
And I like walking to things, like, to get in a car to drive. No, thank you.
I love a good drive.
But eventually, you got to get in the car every time you want to go somewhere. It's too much work.
Yeah, because that's my me time.
I guess. Especially when you still live with other people who, like, annoy you pretty often.
Yes.
Well,
precisely.
Here we are. The things we're supposed to be learning, I guess. So they say. But anyway, so Nailah, we're here today to talk about you. Who are you? How'd you get here? What are you doing? Do you like it? Do you hate it? But first, I have rapid fire questions.
Oh.
Just 3. Yes, very much on the spot. Didn't see it coming. Don't worry. So you just, pick one or the other. No context. My first question, entrepreneur or corporate America?
Entrepreneur.
College or real world experience?
College. I like college.
Okay. And then suburbs or urban life?
Oh, it froze.
Suburbs or urban life?
Urban.
Okay. See, that was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Straight to the point. You didn't die.
Are you going to assess me? What is that?
No, it's not an assessment. It's just for, the listeners to get an idea of who you are, what you're about.
Okay.
So let's get into it. Where did you go to school? When did you graduate? Yeah.
We're talking high school or college?
Girl, college. We don't care about high school anymore.
Well, everyone, I went to Rutgers.
Wow.
State University of New Jersey.
You're our first guest who isn't from Seton Hall, so thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, switching things up here. I did not go to a private Catholic school. I went to a public, I'll talk about it nicely. I went to a public school.
Listen, and she did what she needed to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I graduated not even this past May, last year. Nuts. May 2020, So unfortunate.
Pandemic.
Depressing.
Pandemic graduating class. Yes. So what did you major in? And minor, whatever.
I did not minor. I majored in biological sciences and got out of there.
Mm-hmm. Was it always biology?
It was not. It started off as pharmacy school. Yes, I was in pharmacy school, accelerated 6-year program or whatever. And then I thought in my class, no, it wasn't in class. Then I got the real world experience in college, working in a retail pharmacy. And I thought, is this what I want to do with my life?
Counting pills. Not. Checking people out.
I say that now, but you're so young in college. I made this decision about 19. I was in my sophomore year. So 19, and I was like, absolutely not, I'm not doing this. But now that I'm in the real world, I was like, if I stuck out with it, I didn't have to be a retail pharmacist. I could have been in medieval pharmaceuticals.
Ew. Selling your soul to the devil.
Yes. Which I'm doing already.
So do you regret changing your major?
I don't regret it because I have to say I absolutely hated it. But I do think it would have gave a little bit more opportunity. Or it would have been at least like a more solid career, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a specific path.
Right. You pretty much know like what you're doing, where you're going when you have a pharmacy degree.
Exactly. Okay. But I also didn't like that about it because all of the classes were focused on this is exactly what you're doing. Like, everyone else gets to do gen eggs and whatnot, get a little taste for everything, and mine was just strictly science pharmacy.
They were like live, love, breathe science.
Yes. But then changing it to biology did not change that.
So you thought you were lessening your load, and you didn't?
I was lessening my load, but I didn't want to stray too far off because I had already done all that science work. And bio really just kind of matched up.
And who was trying to take another year of college because you wanted to change your major?
Not me. I'm not going to be.
No. I mean, it's okay to be a 5th-year senior, but for you, it wasn't happening.
Because who's paying for that? Not me, not my parents.
And that is a real statement. Not I. Okay.
And I was going to do business admin as a minor.
Okay.
And got lazy. So I
said, business classes, no thanks. So choosing biology was more like okay, I'll do it because it's convenient. And like, I kind of like science and, like here we are.
Absolutely.
You didn't feel the call.
I mean, I always liked science. So it wasn't like, now I'm a bio major because I was a pharmacy major. Anything, to be honest, to me was better than being in pharmacy.
Okay.
Because those people, I'm not kidding, eat sleep, breathe in the library. I know people who stay over in the library because you have an exam every week in like these super crazy intense classes. Like
the social life, the lack of social life.
They are compromising for a better future. So
this is true. See. Put in the work now to be rewarded later. Blah blah blah.
Right. But I did know a lot of them who were depressed. So.
And that's honest. That's what they don't tell you. They just say get the degree, but nobody tells you that sometimes it's really hard to get the degree.
Very
gross. So you got your BS, right? Bachelor of Science?
No, I got a BA.
Bachelor of Arts in Biology?
I don't understand it, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And I tried to, what do you call it? Petition? Yeah, they tried to make a petition to get a BS, but it didn't.
But wouldn't that just would have been what, like more math classes in your curriculum?
I'm not sure what's the difference because in Rutgers, there's so many different schools.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a school of arts and sciences, which is what I was in.
Right.
There's a school of environmental and biological sciences, which is more like the environment.
Right.
Treats. But they get a BS in bio and we get a BA.
Interesting.
I don't know what the difference is.
Well, maybe they're trying to make you guys well-rounded or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so you got your BA in bio, and what are you doing right now? You said you were employed.
Yes, right now I'm doing something called pharmaceutical market research.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm working with Big Pharma.
And doing market research.
And doing market research, yes.
And for those who wouldn't know what market research is, I do have a minor in it, whatever. But
I did not even know that.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, not a minor, a certificate.
Oh. Okay.
But whenever jobs ask you to like prove it, I'm like, I don't know, it came from the school. Don't know what you want from me. Yeah.
Didn't give you anything.
I got a diploma and that was it. I took the classes to get the certificate. I think they said I applied for the certificate and that was it.
I think they forgot.
Oh, right. Guess I need to email someone. But so you're in pharmaceutical market research.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your passion? Do you love it? Do you wake up every day and you're so excited to go to work?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's my passion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's definitely a good start into a full-time career.
Okay.
Or just like getting, your feet wet in the corporate world. I think it's definitely a good segue. Because I think about if I were to start in like a big company like I wanted to, I don't know how that would have went, to be honest.
Okay. So going into pharmaceutical market research wasn't the original plan. You were trying to go into big pharma.
Yes. I had no idea what market research was. That's why I was surprised to have a certificate. But yeah, the goal was to get into big pharma and make money.
Okay. So
but,
entry level. Right. So like entry level in big pharma would be like lab assistant.
I have no idea. Yeah, so I was originally looking at lab positions. And I don't know, all that science might drive me crazy. I really don't know. And it's so competitive.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought.
You wouldn't think that's competitive?
I don't know. I just feel like because aren't there so many like science companies that want to do research?
Yeah, but you also have to be like super smart. Like they're making vaccines, girl.
Right.
You're gonna Pfizer.
Okay.
With that.
But so they're asking you like your GPA?
Yeah, they ask you like normal questions. They don't ask your GPA for your job?
That's not in every job application I've done.
I thought that was in every application.
Oh, it was, maybe I'd say I applied to mostly media business jobs. Maybe like a quarter of them were like, what was your GPA? And then
that's crazy.
Yeah. They just wanted to know if I had the degree.
Well, me and Akil always said, because Akil is my friend from college, and he was was he? He was an engineer of some sort. Oh, he was a what do they call him? A
biomedicine engineer.
Biomedical engineer.
Yes.
So basically, they took the same classes that I did, except more engineer focused. And we both said that we should have went to be business majors.
Okay.
To be honest.
Everybody loves to say that business is the easy major, okay? But wait until you sit in those econ classes and they want you to know about supply and demand. And
I had to.
Okay, and where's the minor? You went through all that trouble.
The minor was on it. I did take my business classes. I just had to take like more than half to graduate, and I had a year left, and I said, no.
Oh my gosh.
Not happening.
All right.
You need to pay for it. It's not free.
I mean, yes, education, school. You gotta pay for everything.
But yeah, not just business in general, because there's so many different types of business, like accounting, finance. But we were like, we should have both went for like marketing, like not accounting.
Yeah, I have heard people refer to marketing as the, no offense to anyone out there listening, but the white girl of the business majors.
Didn't you major marketing?
I did, but that's because I'm a very creative person and I enjoy selling things to people, but I hate sales. Can't do that.
Yeah, what's the difference?
So sales is like, you work for a company, you work for, like retail, like, oh my gosh, let me show you this product. You're going to love it. Marketing is more like doing the research, like looking up demographics, being like, okay, so, we're trying to get the Black population between 25 and 45. What is something that's going to, like, what's creative stuff that's going to catch their eye? What's a good tagline? It's the strategy, the manipulation.
Right, and I'm embarrassed because I just said I do market research, and that's legit what we do.
I mean, context clues. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, this is my first rodeo with marketing, so I'm learning a lot.
Yes.
I just learned the structure. I don't know if you know how they do the research and how they set up like the idea behind the product, but I just learned that. It's interesting.
So you like seeing the innovation from like bringing a product to market and selling it to people?
Yeah, like targeting who you want to talk to or what you want. Like, this is how the person explained it to me. Like, so one of my VPs was just explaining the process, and she was like, I'm going to ask you the question. She was like, when you think of Volvo, what's the first thing you think of?
Car.
That's what I said.
Oh, I was supposed to be a little more specific.
Yeah, so she said safety. And I said, oh, I never had a Volvo, so I didn't know.
No. Would not have thought.
Idea behind, that's what I said. I would say, if you said, what do you think about a Nissan? I'd say safety.
A good old fashioned Nissan. Yeah.
Yeah, reliable car.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that you think of Nissan being reliable is how they position themselves, is how they want their audience to see that they are reliable.
Yeah.
So then you go through, like what I do is you go through and you look at the target audience, and then you show them different ideas or whatever, and try to kind of like get their take on it. So if they're not saying like, oh, I think this is reliable, then you know, okay, we need to market our stuff in a better way.
Got it. So you are working in pharma market research, trying to target these people, trying to sell these drugs. Maybe not. That was an assumption. How did you get here? So like it's May. We're all in a pandemic, still in a pandemic, but the first 2 months of it thinking, so how exactly are we like supposed to get employed? Did you get this right out the gate?
Well, yeah. So I was stressing to get a job since I left pharmacy school. So where am I going to go? So, internships are really hard to get as a science major. And I don't know why, but they are. So I was thinking, when I was in my senior year of high school, I would just apply to so many jobs. Like, so many. Pharmaceuticals or just lab positions. I was looking at, like, chem positions because I was really interested in, like, doing chemical research of like cosmetic products. So like making them. but I didn't know how to get in there. Shout out to L'Oreal.
Who's not hiring us?
So I just applied to so many different things or whatever, different places. And you know how I think every college has this, their big career fair.
Yeah.
So I went to one in February of 2020. So right before
the world ended.
Madness. Yes. And I was just walking around and I happened to see this like booth. And it kind of like tied together everything I knew, like pharmaceutical science, and then how I was trying to get into like the business aspects of everything. So I just went over to talk to them and I was like, oh, hey, like, what is this company? And they told me about it. And I don't know, like, it just kind of stuck with me. They gave me like all these pamphlets and stuff, and I took it home with me to my room at the time. And it just like was in the background for a long time.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. You weren't really thinking about it.
And then COVID happened. So I was just like, oh, guess I'm going to finish my senior year. And that was it. So then comes like May and June. And I'm like, all right, I need to get a job. And then I remember, oh, you know, that place is pretty cool. Maybe I should reach out to them. So I did. I think I sent an email or something. To
the person you met at that career fair?
To the HR person. I sent an email, or it was on LinkedIn. I think at first I just sent an email. And no one ever answered.
Yo, I swear, every episode I feel like I talk about HR and I rant about them. They are, I have choice words.
Well, no one ever answered. And then, so this was in April, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this was in April because I was like, May's coming, I need to get a job.
Right.
So then I think around June, they posted on LinkedIn, the audacity, they posted the same job on LinkedIn. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to apply again. And thank God I did, because then the HR person reached out to me and was like, oh, hi, send me an email. And I was like, I did.
Girl, check your inbox.
I think I resent the exact same email. And then she reached out to me, and then that was that.
Okay. So February, career fair, April.
Yeah, so February, April, ghosted, and then June. June, because I think that's when they were starting to look for people.
Gotcha. Wow, you know, I think it's really crazy how so many of us have ghosted by HR stories, but you know.
Well, yeah.
Trifling. Okay.
I think you have a lot more than I do.
I just, especially when it's not even like I filled out my application that I'm waiting to get back. It's like I have interviews, and I'm not trying to do my own horn. I feel like I interview very well, very personable.
I feel like I don't. I get very nervous.
Oh, I definitely sweat as I'm interviewing. Like, I feel my armpits. Yes, precisely. But I just smile too much. And then they ask those stupid questions about strengths and weaknesses and blah, blah, blah. How do I work on a team?
If I told you how much prep I did for interviews, I watched so many videos. I did my whole career, my college career fair site. They have mock interviews. I would do those on my own, which that is something I wish I knew. So because I was in pharmacy school, they never told us about all the resources that there were to get a job.
So like resources at Rutgers or just like in general out there?
Specifically Rutgers resources, like career resources. So you could do mock interviews. You could sign up for like interviews on campus for places, for jobs. I remember I took a career class. Like there was just a whole bunch of stuff around career, which I didn't know about until I left pharmacy school. But everyone else who like is just in the general school,
right,
learn, or they put you in those classes your freshman and sophomore year. So I was like, hello, it's a little late now. I'm finding out about this junior year.
Right.
I could have had a job.
Pharmacy school said, you know where you're going to end up. Walgreens.
Exactly. It did. Well, I mean, people I know who are in pharmaceutical school now are doing very well in the actual pharmaceutical companies.
That's good.
Good for them. Like interning and whatnot.
Going to getting the opportunities you went to school for.
Yes.
Oh, bless their hearts.
How that's going.
Yeah. Oof. Are they stressed from the pandemic?
That's what I want to know. I have a client that I'm working with.
Mm-hmm.
She's very young. She must have just graduated pharmacy school, and I'm like, I wonder how it's been for her so far.
You better connect on LinkedIn.
Can I do that?
Oh, what?
I don't know if I could do that.
Why not?
She's a client.
When the project ends, maybe? Is that appropriate?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's business development. So.
Yes, you're right. You know, she can endorse you on one of your skills, however that works.
She may like us and want to do more projects with us.
Exactly. Wow. Personnel. You keep the client. So in pharma market research, you're working on projects for different clients every day. So what does like a day-to-day look like for you? Like how many projects are you working on?
Yeah, so I work for a pretty small company.
Okay.
And during COVID, business has surged. So they said this is the busiest year they've had in like 30 years or whatever. However, I would not know because this is my first experience.
A pandemic. It took a pandemic for them to soar.
Yes. So the most projects I was on were like 6 projects. And that's, people are on like 12 projects.
Okay.
So right now I'm on like 4, which is good.
Okay.
A lot better work-life balance.
Yeah. So you had to learn, or not learn, I would say. You had to say no. Is there saying no when it comes to projects?
I'm not going to speak too much on this because this has actually been a recent conflict that's come up for me and one of my coworkers because it's like we don't know when to say no because we are, and because people, like other people in our jobs who are like more high up, kind of assume that we have more time than we have. Like they have all of our workloads just like in a document, and they'll look at it and see what projects we're on. Okay. Like, oh, this person has more time. Like they could be on a new project. But
right, an assumption.
And then me and my coworker were like good friends now. We'll be like, I can't even get up to use the bathroom, and they think I have more time. So it's
so interesting. So if there are people on the team who have 12 projects,
right, and
you only have 4, and you don't know where your time is going because you're doing something.
Exactly.
How does?
So I'm like, it's because I'm slow. I mean, half of it is because we're still learning. So
yeah.
We're learning as we go, and it's going to take us more time. But also it's because things have been so busy that people give us tasks that we wouldn't have to do. So the people who think that we have more time have been there for years and know what like a typical person in my role should be doing. Okay. And then in this busy time, it's like, okay, but we're not doing that. Okay. There's something, so we've been given tasks that like you're typically not supposed to do for a while until you really learn the process. And so we're just kind of sprung into it. Right. And so this has recently been brought up to some high people. Oh, and boy. Stirred some conversation in the workplace. Oh, God.
Drama.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's fine. I think we're doing fine now.
That's good.
In terms of saying no, I don't know.
Doesn't exist. Gotcha.
I mean, it exists, but it's just like.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely get that. Because the minute somebody says, oh, hey, Kimani, do you have, I mean, I will say my coworkers are lovely, and they'll be like, do you have time for this? Or they'll ask me what I'm working on before they're just like, oh, can you do this for me?
See, but when they say, can you do this? To me, that translates as you need to do it. Even though that's not what it is, but just the way it's built.
Okay.
Like, okay, I need to get this done.
Right.
Because if they're asking me, like, it's my job to do it, probably.
And then also, I actually had like a catch up with my manager, and I was just like, honestly, people like give me things to do, and like I relatively know when the due dates are, but like if something comes up, like how I don't know if it's urgent? Question mark.
Yeah, that's something that I learned too. Like you have to be very transparent with people, and they're like, do you have time to do this? And you need to ask them like, when is it due? How long does it typically take you? Right. We just started. Like, what are your expectations? You can't, because a lot of times it's like, can you do this? And they'll be like, hey, is it still? And you're like, well, And
you're like,
things first.
Actually, no, it's not.
Exactly. And you can't say that. It's like, I'm like scrambling to get it done. I'm like, yeah, it's done. Here.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm pretty good with that. Like, I try to get ahead of things now and get things done just so people can be like, she didn't do this.
Right. So have you had like, not evaluations maybe, but like, touching base?
Year-end review, you mean?
Maybe. But it hasn't been like a full year for you.
Exactly, which is weird. So I had a probationary review,
mm-hmm.
and then everyone gets their year-end review done in January. So my line manager, who directly manages me,
mm-hmm.
was like, I don't know if we do them because you just had a review, but they did do it.
Okay.
I think I get that in like next week in March.
Wow.
So we'll see. Hopefully, probationary wasn't bad. It was like good because obviously I'm still learning. And
right.
They could say, but they were like, she's a little shy. She could speak up, and I'm like, so someone's like, I know she knows the answers, and I was like, I have no idea what's good. This is only my third month out here.
Right.
I really got any experience.
No, I definitely said that to my manager. I was like, yeah, there are times I'm doing stuff, and then I don't think I know what I'm doing. So then I ask about it, and then it turns out I knew what I was doing. But also at the same time, like, this is when it comes to money, like, let me move slow, girl. Thousands of dollars. I cannot.
You're moving money?
I'm not moving. For example, so we call it like implementing for a campaign. So like I'm putting things into a software and saying how much it is. Now, luckily, there are people who like look it over all the time. There's like finance teams, blah, blah, whatever. But if I hit a zero, someplace a zero doesn't go. You know, it goes from $2,000 to $20,000, and then people are very confused.
Very true. I don't know, because they would just be like, maybe, I don't know, they were like, I know she's confident she knows the answer, and I'm like, girl, that must have been like some kind of
fake it till you make it.
Yeah, fake attitude I was giving, because that confidence was confusion. I had no idea.
Whenever someone asks a question, I just go, and then I talk slow, and then eventually I get there, and then they're like, yeah, that was it. You know?
Questions do they ask?
Like when they want, like they're asking if I know how to like, use this specific software, or like they tell me to do something, and I'm like, so I'm gonna go here first to this Excel and then this one, right? And then I submit it.
So what were your qualifications to get the job? Like, did you need to know programs or like?
So in, at least as far as my knowledge, in entry level like media agencies, they really don't expect you to know anything.
Good. Yeah, that's same with mine.
Okay. So like I remember I did apply to a different media company, and they had me do a math, like they had a part of the application process. They were like, here's some math questions, and it was basic like multiplication, division.
What is that? What kind of deterrent is that?
Because when in media you're measuring things the cost by the thousand, or to get like, specific metrics, you're multiplying this by this and then dividing it by the audience.
They got calculators.
Yes, they do.
And Excel.
And then they also just write down the formulas everywhere. So it's like, even if I sucked at math.
Wait, that kind of sounds fun, because I'm good at math. Should I get into marketing? That's my next move. You want to get into,
well, honestly,
pharmaceutical marketing.
There might be media agents. There's media agencies that have, but you wouldn't really be doing a lot of pharmaceutical media things.
Now I'm thinking about it, because we work with them, right? So we work with the people who do like the media stuff, because it's all a part of the big picture. Right. And I don't know if I could do all that.
Yeah, it depends on your client, because they could either be like, we come up with the ideas on this side, we tell you what to do, you guys tell us the best way to do it and sell it, blah, 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 whatever. But then there are clients that are like, what's your input? We would love to know. What do you think we should do? So it varies. Okay, so anyways, you're working hard, living your life. Well, trying to. trying to figure out work-life balance, whatever that means. Has this made you think about grad school, going back to grad school? Is it a yes? Is it a no? Undecided?
Yes. In fact, I have an open house tomorrow.
Virtual or?
Yeah, of course.
For any specific program or like just going to see?
Yeah, I think for marketing.
Okay. So you potentially like this marketing path you're on.
Yeah, I think it's a good path to where I want to go because I'm trying to mix science with business.
Okay. And
I think it is.
Do you feel like you have to go back to grad school, or is this something you just want to do?
I have to, but I feel like it would be good. So technically, I was supposed to be in grad school already because because I got accepted to an MBA program. But then I was also just starting to, so that takes me back to like my whole process in June. I was like, okay, if I can't get a job, like I need to go to grad school. Like,
oh my
I need
gosh.
to be doing something.
Right.
So I applied and I got in, thank you God. And then it was like, okay, well now do I start the job? Do I start grad school? Do I do both? So I deferred it from the fall to the spring, which would be now. And now work has gotten even crazier. So I'm like, when would I have time to even do grad school? Also, I wasn't really in love with that school. Okay. I did an open house information session virtually with them, and it was just not, I wasn't liking the vibe.
Okay. It wasn't a yes for you. It wasn't matching.
Yeah, it was not. I was like, I'm going to go into debt. I'm not going to be with you.
Okay. And so you're going to pay for this yourself?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm like, will my job pay for it? It's up in the air. Is it worth it to get, because, to be fair, I've been on TikTok.
Yes.
And I see videos of people being like, this degree was not worth it. Like, it just put me to debt. And I'm like, interesting. But then I know for other people, it's very worth it. So.
Right. So do you know if any of the people you work with, like at your company, have their masters? They don't.
Masters. Like, most of them don't.
So you could be doing something and wasting your money? People
in my role and like a few levels above don't have their masters, but there are people with like PhDs. Because it is science focused also. Yes, I forgot that. PhDs. Oh. Yes, PhDs. Oh. It could be like a PhD in psychology or like whatever, but some of them have PhDs.
And they ended up at a pharmaceutical market research company.
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
So
Fascinating.
Essentially, I could work my way up to the same roles that they're in. Like, there's someone who's in the role right above me. They have a PhD. So.
What? How did they get here? That is.
I don't know. I don't really talk to them, but.
Like, so I hear you have a PhD. Would love to know how you got to this point in your life.
That sounds.
Is that shady? Is that shady? Listen, how else are we going to learn these things? We have to start a conversation, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, my job is very generous with the salaries, I think. So
okay.
They're fine.
So they said, here, take our money, please.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It works, I guess.
I guess. So they say. All right. So you're considering grad school when you already barely have time to yourself.
Yeah, because I think it's for personal development. If I have...
That's a great interview question.
Degree, if I have another degree, what are they going to say? Like, I mean, they could say you're overqualified, but whatever. You're underqualified to me then.
This is true. And, having a master's allegedly gets you more money. So they say.
Yes. So they say.
So has any of this whole process, being in a pandemic, really working in a pandemic, considering school in a pandemic, has this affected your mental health? Do you think about your mental health? Because, there are people you could just be like, focus on the day-to-day, go to sleep and do it again.
Please, that makes me want to cry. But that is my reality. That's legit what I do. It's Friday and I'm tired.
I mean, the end of the week gotcha. It hit you hard.
Just the beginning of the week got me.
Damn. I mean, Self-care.
Because when you think about it, well, I don't know, because you have, like, your job lets you off at a certain time. But for me, it's like, if things aren't done and they need to be done, like, get it done.
Right.
Which means, like, I could be on it anytime. Like, no one's telling me, okay, log off now.
Okay.
It's like,
do it.
Things, it's so difficult because when you're working with so many different people, it'll be like, somebody like, I need this now. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And then I'm always like, sure. Like, I'll do it. Like, I'll make time. And me making time is me, like, having less time to myself. So every day, it's like I wake up, I purposely don't check my email because I'm like, I don't want to start the day yet. Because I know once I start the day, I don't know when it's going to end.
Right.
And then I have to do it again the next day and the next day.
Interesting.
And then I go crazy. I just put in my PTO days, to be honest.
Okay. So you have something to look forward to, even if you're not doing something.
Yeah.
You're just like this.
And then I'm going to be stressed out that I need to check my email.
Oh, well, an endless cycle for you.
Yeah, but I think that's just because me, who I am as a person.
How your brain works.
Yeah.
Okay. So not everyone would feel, the obligation to say yes to helping.
Yeah, it really depends on your personality, I guess. Like, if you know you don't have time, be like, I don't have time, and then not care about it. But then I overthink. So if I'm like, I don't have time, then they're gonna be like, well, what is she doing with her time? She's not managing her time well, whatever.
But then again, you are new, so it's like, all right, well, then someone show me how to manage my time. You hired me, but with less hostility.
Busy. Yeah, that's something to bring up, something to consider.
And they're like, what can we do better? Like, well.
But on that note, I guess they're trying to help our mental health during these COVID times because they are trying to do, like, happy hours.
Oh my
and
gosh.
we're going to do, like, a step competition, which I don't know who's going to win because I don't get any steps.
You better get a standing desk and march in place.
I want a standing desk. Yeah, they're just doing different things. We're having a chocolate tasting and wine tasting.
They said, please don't quit. Please don't leave.
Yeah, because they know things are just been, like, not the norm.
But also as a company, they can, like, not get as many clients. I mean, who wants to, like, say, like, as a, you can, someone approaches you and says, can you do this for us? They can say no. But then again, like, it's a business. Who really wants to say no to money?
They actually had to do that in Q4 for, like, I don't know if it was the first time, but they were getting so many, like, projects, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, no.
They were like, okay, we're going to say no to these projects and, like, only go for, like, the high ones, obviously.
Wow. First world problems.
I don't know. They're looking into it. I don't know.
The processes.
Yeah.
How can you be more efficient?
Which is crazy because I didn't think people cared about that.
Being efficient?
They do. No, not efficient, but, like, making sure you have, like, happy employees and making sure people are, like,
yes, hashtag culture.
I feel like that's a new thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, I feel like since we started college in 2016, I feel like people are starting to be like, maybe, like, companies should be somewhere where people like to work.
Yeah.
But once again, it still works. So it's like, how much fun can I really have here? Unless, it's your passion. You love what you do.
I didn't think working was, like, fun. I thought you just worked.
I mean,
I knew work could be fun.
There are some of the people I know at my company, they really love the data. They love as they like to say, they really love telling the story. And that's cute because it's like...
That's what we do. We tell the story. I'm not even kidding.
We literally had a report today and we were like, maybe we should take that out. This doesn't make a good story.
I'm like, what even is a story? How do you? No one even knows the story.
The story is the picture. Oh my gosh.
No, I know, but, like, we legit, like, we send out reports that are storylined. It's called. I don't know if that was a secret.
I mean, no. I think, like, creating the story is a process.
But I'm like, how do you make a story out of facts?
I mean, you didn't go. Well. It is something you just, like, learn over time, and also like a little in school, not really in school, more like real world, because it's like, okay, we had an increase in revenue. That means we made more money. That means people are buying things. Why did people buy things? Because they...
But you're making that up because you don't know.
Well, no, because, okay, so at least from like a media perspective, like the different types of media we use is related to like different portions of someone's buying experience. So while it isn't like sometimes not a hard fact, like this is why there's also sometimes where it does show like this came exactly from this because tags, tracking, blah blah blah, technology stuff. But sometimes there are the facts, and then sometimes you can just be like, well, I think it was from this. And then if it makes sense, then people are like, I see it. Right. It's all a cycle. It's all a cycle.
Like, if that's like accurate though, if they did like the research. The assumption.
If they did the research right, I hope so. Oh my gosh.
Anywho.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Just work. # just work things. Love that.
Yeah, my head's going crazy. Should we get a house this summer at the beach? Take a month off. I got a few days.
Take a month off. I'm about to be
2 weeks.
work from home, and the home is a beach house I rented.
Yes, that's what I was planning.
As I look outside the window at the ocean, thinking, wow, when can I log off?
Oh. Because you could bring your own hotspot and be on the beach.
I'm screaming. It's time for a meeting. They're going to be like, Kimani, can you put yourself on mute? The ocean.
Put yourself on mute. Put yourself on no camera. And then when they ask you a question, you say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There's some background noise. Getting some work done in the house.
I am the epitome of like mute on and off. I'm like, turn it on and respond, yeah, and then turn it off.
I think everyone does.
Life is happening in the background.
It should be. Yeah.
I know. I have one manager who's so like consistently on camera. I find it very motivating and inspiring. And then I remembered that like I have facial expressions. Sometimes I zone out, check my phone.
Well, yeah, all of our meetings are on camera pretty much.
Oh.
So if I'm not paying attention, they'll know. I just look at my double screen, like at my other screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because things are still gotta be done.
Oh, I've definitely, majority of my team, I've seen them go on camera and you can see them looking at their second screen. And it's like, yeah, girl, work's gotta get done. This
like
meeting, right, like I'm hearing you, but I'm also trying to make sure that this is done by the end of the day.
I don't know about you guys, but we have so many meetings.
Yeah.
So many.
Every day. I have a check-in. My team has like a check-in meeting every morning. The first like 5 to 10 minutes is usually about like random things what we watched on TV, whatever, # bonding. And then somebody's usually like, sorry to bring this about work. And then we,
That's funny.
But, fake it till you make it is what I'm gathering from this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's honestly, okay.
Yeah. Someone told me like that's the lines to live by.
If I look confident and I sound confident and like what I'm saying is kind of right,
yes,
I can sell it. And then eventually I'll believe it.
I think that's something I need to work on. Because I'll say something and I'll be like, wait, does that even make sense? But to me, it makes sense.
Right. But you don't want to sound dumb to other people. So I do the same thing.
So I'll just be like, oh, mute.
Says a piece, goes on mute. No, Nailah, that was so good. And you're like, was it? Are you sure? Yeah. All right, if you say so.
Do you guys do presentations?
Yeah, but I haven't had to speak, thank the Lord.
Oof, I think once, I don't know, I'm scared. I've already had to do one, like a small presentation, but that scares me. I didn't know we had to do presentations outside of school. I already,
have to send emails to the client directly, and I'm like, can you check my email and make sure, this makes sense? Do I sound dumb here? These people don't even know who I am. Well, they know who I am. But, in a real-world experience, they would see me and know who I am. They just, see my...
You guys don't do, cameras with them either?
No. We're not a camera mandatory team.
Yeah, neither are we, but we still do it.
Like, if we're talking to the client, some of us start the camera on and then we turn it off.
Yeah, I do that too.
So, you saw me here, you saw my face.
At least for the first meeting, I'll do it, and then
it also depends on what I'm wearing.
Well, you gotta get client ready.
I know, but and then we log on and the client is also wearing a t-shirt and I'm like,
I know.
Well,
sometimes they do that. I'm like, you know what? We look professional, whatever.
Exactly. Matching sweatsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, am I surprised? I don't know.
This girl would be by her river, outside.
What a vibe!
Yeah, it really was.
Go her. She said.
She's on the West Coast, though.
She said, "Bringing my laptop to nature. You guys are gonna see that when I'm clocked out and off this computer, I'm actually doing something. So leave me alone."
That's nice.
Boundaries. We'll work on them.
Yes, I need to.
Things for 2021. Someone should make a podcast about work boundaries. I'd listen.
Isn't that what you...
My advice would be fake it till you make it.
How would that help with the work boundary?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Listen, I've only been in my first 45 days. We'll revisit in the next 45.
What month are you on?
It's literally been, today makes it a month and 13 days.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Woo, employment.
Yeah.
And I was told I was doing a fantastic job, so,
How has your life changed?
I barely get outside air.
Facts. I have to take vitamin D every day.
I couldn't tell you. Like, today I ran out of coffee, so I went to the bodega to get a cup of coffee.
But you went to the office.
Yes, that one time, and it was nice and it was lovely. And we say we're gonna do it again, but will we actually? I don't know. But
Are you by yourself?
Well, it was. So my immediate team, like my digital team, there's 6 of us in total. So we all went, and then we every other computer.
Social distance.
Yeah. So I would like to do that again. I want to feel a little normal. And I have a badge now to get into the building.
I don't even have mine yet. I haven't been.
I only got it because we went to the building. And the guy was like, just come upstairs. We'll take a picture. I said, oh my gosh. The lighting was not my best. Not their best. But it was okay. But anyways, this has been such a riveting conversation. Very realistic, honestly. We're not trying to make it happy rainbows and kittens. We're still trying to figure it out. It's not awful, not negative. But that's good. But we're also being realistic, You changed your major. You're tired. We both, struggle to say no. Because we don't want somebody to be like, oh, she said no, that's interesting.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of questions I didn't know you would have once you start a job.
Oh, yeah. I like to think in my head, my coworkers and I are like pals. But
they're not.
But we're not. I have to.
They're not my friends.
My manager is leaving my team, and he literally interviewed me to even get into the company, and I felt so abandoned. And I had only known him for 30 days.
Yep.
Me and my attachment.
That exact same situation happened to me. Except he didn't move teams; he moved companies.
No, I understand. Do what's best for you, but also. Why can't? What do you mean you're leaving?
I know. Every time someone says they're leaving, I'm like, I just got here.
How dare you? God.
Yeah.
But Nailah, thank you so much for coming on today. Really appreciate your perspective. What you're.
Yeah, I hope it was helpful. I don't really know. I feel like I was complaining.
I mean, that's also very realistic, and I think that's pretty helpful. Because I think we're also just told, once you get a job, life is great.
Well, yeah, I have to say, I have a bone to pick with my parents because they said, get a job. And I'm like, why?
And now that we have a job, right. If I didn't have to pay for a shelter to live,
401?
For a 401k, I have to think about retirement, and I'm only 23 years old.
Right.
I don't know if I would have a job. I'd just be doing stuff I like to do.
I'm 22. I should be.
But, you know,
anyways, but I'm grateful.
Thank you. Work, love
Universe. Life. And you know, I manifested it too.
Exactly.
For everyone listening, I manifested it.
Same. I was like, this apartment. Did I have this job? No, but I was like, I will have a job to be paying.
You really manifested
that. I was starting to get a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. The universe was taking her time. I said, ma'am, please.
As she should.
Right, but also the way this anxiety is set up, don't make me doubt myself. Please.
And look at how it worked out.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Everyone listening, I will be moving in a couple months.
# manifestation. All right. Thank you, Nailah.
Have a great night.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening.
All right. So, as you probably picked up from this conversation with Nailah, today's mindful mantra is just fake it till you make it. And I know we, slightly touched on it, but personally, I felt that having a mantra such as fake it till you make it definitely helped me in a lot of situations where I definitely felt uncomfortable putting myself out there. So whether it came to my confidence, my self-esteem, going into an interview, getting ready to talk to a stranger and hoping that they like you from, meeting my team and hoping that, our personalities are going to mesh and that, these are people that I work with and also enjoy. I essentially, faked being not extroverted, I would say, but just more out there than I usually come off. I like to be a fly on the wall. I like to observe. I like to see what's going on. But in those situations, when a stranger is asking you about your strengths and your weaknesses and your team wants to know more about you, you do have to put more of yourself out there in the beginning before you can, be able to just unsheath your real self, and maybe that is that you are more shy or you are more introverted or you are more extroverted, I just like to think of it as adapting yourself and your personality to whatever setting you're about to encounter. So, fake it till you make it. If you can believe, you can achieve. And any other corny mantra that I've heard in my life that I actually thought and it actually worked out. So I hope this was a meaningful and insightful conversation for someone out there. And I hope everyone has a lovely evening. Be blessed, be productive, and just go out there and be your best self. And if you don't think you have a best self to put out there, fake it till you make it. Okay? Have a good night.